Race number 6 at Virginia International Raceway, and my qualifying time of a 1:49.8 at this level, at the 1500 point level, is not good enough to put me anywhere near the front, especially in the split. This is Father's Day. Nobody wished me a Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, so that's okay. I wind up in 15th place at the start of the race, which puts me on the inside of the tracks, at least if I'm looking for the silver lining there. At least I'm on the inside of the track. I am behind number 20, who is Hejor Fielding, and on my left is Corey Fielding. Um, Again, 1500. I'm at 1501 or oh 04, something along there. My second time ever into the 1500s. The competition clearly, once you break out of the 1400s, is a little bit stiffer, certainly on a day like today. So my objective here, seeing that I am low, is hopefully get up into the top 10, so that I don't lose points. I'd even settle for 12th or 11th place, but we'll see how this goes. I'm going to go from my perspective first go. I get a great start, actually, catching up to number 20 here, but I'm forced to back off the throttle a little bit,
what are we doing?
because I'm going to remove the voiceover stuff, as there's some audio there that is just not worth listening to. There we go. And so entering first turn, everything goes pretty smoothly for me. Again, cold tires. I have dropped back a place at least, but I'm waiting for exactly what I see right there is a driver going off the road. And I'm expecting a few more to do it at this point too, because people are just very aggressive. So, here we go. First lap. I'm just trying to get the tires warmed up. I'm in the middle of the pack, which is absolutely not where I want to be. And while this race does not go my way in many ways, I kind of really have nobody to blame but myself, even though other drivers do cause contact with me, because I qualified so low. So there's a couple takeaways I'm going to get from this race. And one of those is I need to get faster. I think it's time for a new coaching session to help me out get a little faster. Um, the video has taken me about as far as I can go from my coach Bernardo, but now I need to maybe get some one-on-one time with my coach. So here's what I'm anticipating going into this turn. I'm thinking ahead. Hey, there's going to be some kind of accident as a result of this attempted pass, maybe. But no, there is not. But I'm able to catch up to the pack fairly well because of the pass. So I am only 4/10 off Alexander in front of me. But a driver on my left comes screaming by. I'm forced to play it safe while he goes by. He's clearly faster than me. Certainly braver than I am through that series of turns. But yeah. Okay. So going into lap 2. Tires are starting to warm up. Things are going to start heating up, I think. Not just the tires, but also the competition. You see a hit right there from, of course, it's from a Verstappen.com driver, knocking one driver off the road, which gives me a space, but I don't appreciate that he has done this to this driver. But I want to stay clear of him if I can. Behind me is Leon, and Leon is clearly showing some pace. I like the German livery on his car, by the way. And I'm definitely feeling the pressure at this point. I'm definitely feeling that, the cars behind me are pushing, but the cars in front of me are even slightly pulling away as I'm trying my best to keep up with them. But again, my objective is get through the race as safely as possible. Hit my marks where I need to, remain consistent so that the drivers around me don't try anything foolish. What's interesting is I'm still, and this is probably because I'm so far back, but I'm in kind of the pack here a bit. I'm going to let Leon go by. I'm not willing to defend for 14 laps as we're still finishing lap 2. And he does a lunge there and gets through me. It was a good pass. Nice, clean pass. Now, the driver behind me, Kevin Degenhardt. Kevin is pretty quick. He's catching up to me. But Kevin takes some risks that you're going to see in a couple laps. Aren't going to make me too happy. So I'm in 14th place. At this point, I'm going to lose 8 points at the end of the race, dropping me out of the 1500s. But that's okay. Again, I'm not really focused on that. What I keep telling myself is focus on your lines, focus on your braking points. Try not to make mistakes so that you let the race come to you. You know, drivers ahead, maybe being a little more aggressive, will have some accidents, and then I can take advantage of those. At least that's the plan. You can see right on my rear, Kevin is literally a 10th behind me at this point. And I'm a little concerned he's going to try something reckless. I get a better exit out of them, opening up to about 4/10. Come into the horseshoe here. And you can see how close he was to my inside right there. So much so that he's forced to back out a little bit, and Yago next to him almost catches him. I'm expecting one of them may have a problem coming into this exit as they are both pushing hard. Unless somebody backs out, I'm concerned I'm going to get wrapped up in this accident. But it actually goes fairly clear. It's one of those things where you're being observant of the track around you. Kevin taps me a little bit there. You're being observant of the track around you and expecting something to happen, expecting something to go wrong at this point. I am in 14th place again, still losing 8 points if this race stays where it is. I've opened up a significant gap now, about almost a second to Kevin. Kevin probably better on the brakes here than I am. Another driver off the road, allowing me to take up another place, so now putting me in 13th place. At this point, I would not lose or gain any points if I wound up here. Kevin and Yago fighting hard behind me. Kevin 5/10 behind me as we go into this straightaway. All right, here's, I believe, where the problem occurs. I get a pretty decent exit through here, but going into this, I actually overshoot just a little bit. But then I go into my normal turn, and Kevin taking a line that is just too aggressive. I'm going to back that up just so you can see that again from a different angle. I'm going to put you in trailing mode here so you can see exactly what happens. Give you a far chase view. Here comes Kevin. He does not have that corner. That is mine. Takes me out. I try to get back on the course safely. 3 drivers are going to get past me. 4 drivers, dropping me down to 18th place with Kevin significantly behind me at this point. Again, 1.2 seconds behind me. I think that's completely his fault, but again, if I'd driven faster, I wouldn't have been in that position. So I got to think about it that way. Coming into here, you know, I see Kevin trying to close in on me again. I'm getting held up a little bit by the number 95 Rust Ease car from Cars. But Kevin is close to within a second at this point. No words were exchanged, just, you know, focus on what I'm doing. Don't worry about him. I'm expecting that these cars competing in front of me might cause a problem. Kevin has closed up the gap significantly to me again. And again, I mean, there's one thing about being fast, but there's another thing about being consistent and being safe. I'm just going to go ahead and let Kevin take the inside here because I'm not willing to get punted off the course again by him. And now I'm being chased by Roneri behind me, who's gotten a much better exit out of that than I did. But I'm a little frustrated. Down in 18th place, I'm going to lose 48 points in this race if it stays this way. But I keep telling myself, let the race come to you. Drive safely. Drive consistently. Shouldn't be an issue. And that has proven to typically work out very well for me. I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's the split I'm in. But, you know, honestly, I'm driving at the 1500 split at this point. And these drivers are just faster than me. So here we come down the main straightaway, most dangerous part of the course. We are 5 laps into a 15-lap race. He gets a much better exit out of there. I'm just going to let him go by without worrying too much about that. And hopefully, because of that, I get a little bit of an off track there. But hopefully, this will all work out further down the line. I am now in 20th place. One of my worst showings of a race where I didn't wind up in the pits. And so, yeah, a little frustrated. I'm going to put you in my viewpoint. But again, trying not to let the frustration get to me, just saying let's stay focused, stay on our line, do what we're supposed to do. I mean, there's a point during this race, and clearly some people got shunted off, but there's a point during this race where, like, the person in 23rd place sets the fastest lap of the track by a large margin. I mean, they were in, like, the 146, and I can't do a 146 on this track. So, yeah, it shows you. But I am near the back of the pack now. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars behind me in the race. A little disappointed in that. But let's fast forward through some of this because I'm not going to gain a whole lot here. Again, trying to remain consistent, trying to remain with the pack. I am about 1.7 seconds behind the person in front of me. This driver's off the side of the road, moving me into 19th place. I don't know what has happened with him. Maybe an issue at home. Anyway. Man, that is just such a tricky part of this course for me. Still 1.9 seconds behind. Renario in front of me. I'm going to zip forward. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip forward a couple laps. Still in 19th position in lap 8. So race is half over. I'm hoping something develops in front of me. At this point, my only hope is that there are some accidents in front of me that cause drivers significant damage and they wind up in the pits, because I just do not have the pace that a lot of these drivers have. In front of Renario, you see Ignacio. I'm going to actually skip forward to Ignacio. Here he is, number 11. Ignacio is the perfect example of somebody who can drive fast, but doesn't remain consistent. And just up ahead of him, you just saw Kevin go off the track again. So again, both these guys quick but inconsistent. I don't know what. I think Ignacio got a slowdown penalty here because he backs off the throttle significantly, and I catch up to about 1.2 seconds behind him at this point. But we are going to complete lap 8. Overall, you know, I'm disappointed in the way this race goes, but I'm pretty pleased with how I performed in it. In the sense that I drove consistent. I did what I set out to do, meaning certainly not in position, as you'll see by the end of the race, but I did stay focused on what I was trying to stay focused on. I didn't have any major blunders, I think, that send me careening off the road as a result of my own driving. I think in each of the cases where I take some hits, this driver, again, here you go, Kevin, coming onto the track at a risky point. Man, I'm telling you. You're not alone on the track. That's the thing. That's the thing you got to remember. Again, Kevin is right on me. And here we go again. And I'm definitely concerned about this guy, considering he's the one that punted me off the course earlier. I know he has the ability to catch up to me, as he's demonstrating right here, but I also know he has the ability to make some poor decisions. This is where he punted me off last time, so I'm absolutely aware of it. Gets a good run out of there. He's right behind me, 2/10 behind me. I would expect that he gets a pass done here. And there he goes to the inside. I'm just going to let him by because I know he's trying to be reckless, but he cuts in front of me here. So I'm going to back that up and give you the chase cam on that one too, because even though I hit him in the rear, I really feel like I didn't have the view at the time. So here we go. He cuts to the inside. I mean, the only thing I could do was hit the brakes and back out at that point, but I feel like he really pushed that. And also, maybe I might have been a little frustrated with him trying to nail me before. And let me give you one more time from my perspective. I was slowing as much as I could, actually, now that I look at it. And part of my problem with slowing there is that I am on the brakes and in the dirt. Kevin takes enough damage or what have you that he goes to the pits. Fortunately, I am not damaged. I am in 19th position, still losing 48 points. I don't know. I think that was a racing incident in my mind, but also that's a dangerous area to pass. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I certainly tried to give him as much room as I could, but I'm not going to take responsibility for that. I'm just not. All right. Maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me in the comments. All right. So I have Alexander 4 seconds behind me. I am in 18th position, losing 40 points in this race at this point. Trying not to get dejected, just get myself back into the spirit of things. I'm going to skip forward a lap. Still in the same spot. Alexander is 10 seconds behind me. He had an off track that sent him spiraling, so I saw him drop way off. I'm going to skip forward to lap 12. Alexander, 12.8 seconds. I'm opening up to him. Ignacio in front of me is 7.8 seconds ahead. I am in 18th position, losing 40 points at the end of this race so far. Some people have had an accident, which has given me the advantage of moving to 18th, but it's certainly not through me passing anybody at this point. 18th position still. This is lap 13. We're going to do the last 2 laps. Here's lap 14. I'm still in 18th position. Behind me by 13 seconds is Alexander. Corey Fielding has gotten passed by Caleb. He is about 6.8 seconds in front of me. Unlikely I'm going to be able to catch him, but okay. What have we learned this race? Well, we've learned we got to get faster. We are not fast enough to carry on at a higher level at this point. My goal of getting to 2,000 iRating feels, after seeing this race, a little bit further away than I thought. The drivers here are significantly faster. I have spent the morning practicing Fuji, which is going to be the next race in the season. I was feeling pretty good about how I did here. My fastest time here was a 1:49.1, which was not too shabby for me. I have gotten into the 148s and I think even broached the 147s in practice, but for some reason I just don't have that speed in an actual race. Finishing up lap 14 here. Nobody around me this time, so I'm not too worried about having an accident here. I am pushing because I'm hoping that maybe Ignacio in front of me, who has gone off the road, is now 4.4 seconds ahead of me. Maybe I can catch up to him in the last lap. Maybe he makes a mistake or crashes or something, and I want to be in a position to take advantage of that if he does. But really, I'm just hoping beyond hope that he is going to have a problem. And I think it being the last lap, everybody's taking it fairly easily. I'm going to fast forward through this just so you get a sense. I am closing it on Ignacio a bit. I'm at 3.5 seconds. It's unlikely I'm going to catch him, though. That's a lot to ask in one lap, especially where Ignacio has shown he has pretty good speed. I think he might have maybe a little wheel damage or something, which has slowed him down. But that takes me through to the final lap, to the very end, without much improvement. So I end the race, I think in 18th position, even though it's showing 17th right there. So let's see what damage that did to my results. Okay, no, I do end in 17th place, so I only lose 32 points instead of the 40 or 46 that I was at. I do lose 0.04 safety rating, not very much, and that's a result of mainly off tracks and then that one collision that caused me a 4-pointer, so that leaves me at 7. Overall, not too worried about the safety rating at this point, more concerned about the iRating, because that does drop me down to a 1474. I was at 1500. I was very excited about being at 1500. When I look at the splits, I'm in the 7th split, so I'm middle of the pack. I'm competing where I think I'm expected to compete. Again, I think the only way to move up here is I'm going to have to get faster to make that work. So, okay. So, that was probably my last race at Virginia International Raceway. I got 6 in. I feel like that's a good amount. I am practicing Fuji right now so that I can hit Fuji with the tires running as we go into the start of next week. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.